Do you ever feel like you're not really living, you're simply existing? You go to work and school, but you're just another cog in the machine, lost in the rat race of people all doing the same thing because society tells you you should. Then when you're at home and not in the rat race, you decide to spend your free time scrolling on your phone or escaping by watching another TV show. You see other people traveling or accomplishing amazing things, waiting for the day your best life starts. Ayo, it's Amy, and look, do you notice anything different? I put on some color depositing shampoo. It's only after the first wash, but it's slightly red. The truth is, you're avoiding your best life. How do I know this? That used to be me. If you avoid discomfort, you're not even giving yourself the chance to live your best life. It was comfortable for me to be a stereotypical, studious student, say that 3 times fast, and quietly learn, just get the best grades. In fact, in the culture I come from, we're typically taught from a young age to not rock the boat and avoid the uncomfortable situation and to be risk averse in your career, you know, doctor, engineer, lawyer. But through a series of pushing myself out of my comfort zone, I realized that this box that I was put into from a young age wasn't me, and I didn't have to stay in that box. And it was only outside of my box that's where my best life was, and that's where my true self was. Hello, editing Amy will be popping in and out because I want to make sure you guys get the full message. Essentially, if you feel like there should be something more to life, go find it. How are you going to discover anything better if you don't go out and try to find something new? Don't accept scrolling on your phone just because it's comfortable. So many people go home and turn on the TV, but that's not where your life is. Yes, again, it's comfortable, but you'll forget about that show in a year. Like, I promise it's not going to be important. There will always be more shows and entertainment because those companies are trying to suck that part of your life away so they can earn money. You'll forget the show, you'll forget your friend's post, but what you won't forget is the comfort that you can enjoy later, but also sooner than you think. And that's the comfort of feeling like you're doing something for yourself, like you're living your best life. For the longest time, fear held me back. I held myself back, and I wish I realized earlier to truly internalize and live by the quote, your life begins at the end of your comfort zone. But I'm hoping that through this video, you can start living your best life and discover what that means for you as soon as possible. This video is not general advice about the importance of seeking discomfort. You can see many other videos on that, and people can explain it way better than I can. Instead, you'll see just how critical discomfort is through my unbelievable journey that led me to this moment. Feeling absolutely elated and just, loving life. I got the chance to not only visit Korea, but studying there on a full scholarship. All because I made it a habit to step outside of my comfort zone. As you listen, think about how you might be holding yourself back and what you can do about it. Let's go! Chapter 1. Craving something more. As you can maybe tell from my other videos, I was a good student, studying, bringing home A's, all the things that make you comfortable because you're praised for it. That's the typical path to follow. Everyone, well, especially Asian parents, want and expect you to be this perfect kid, good in school, good at math, so you're ready to become that doctor, an engineer, or a lawyer. Doctor or engineer, not both. But even while I was doing well in school and, winning some awards here and there, I felt like there was something drastically missing. Like, I was craving to do something special. I just wanted to do something that was more unique to me. Even though I was a good student and I had pride in that, I was itching to do something that got me super excited. Sure, I led the math team and was president, but I saw people doing things that changed how the school works in student council. Or my friend who became salutatorian building a really cool app. Like, you don't have to be valedictorian to be cool. I now realize that doesn't mean as much as spending that time creating something new to help people in the world. And honestly, it didn't even have to do something extreme, but I was just so caught in doing these predetermined activities and the paths that were already set for me. I was scared to join things I wanted to, like dance club, because I would suck, and also because it didn't fit this stable plan to get into college. I think it could be similar to how if you go home, you feel like there's something missing in your life. Like maybe life is passing you by or you're wasting your life. You just feel like there could be something more. You lay on your couch and just think, this can't be the way that life is. Life is supposed to be more fun. Are you really content doing the same thing every day? Is it really beneficial to keep only doing what you're good at? So with this kind of feeling in mind that I could be doing more, even though I wasn't brave enough to push myself to do things that or more creative. I used this craving for something more to push myself to be a little more extroverted. I used to be shy and very uncomfortable in social situations, but then I learned to just push myself to talk to someone sitting in front of me in class. And even though I was really scared of being wrong in class, I pushed myself to raise my hand and say my opinion or answer a question. And gradually this expanded my current comfort zone such that now I'm willing to speak my mind. And I learned from that, of course, too, because then the teacher would tell me whether I'm right or wrong, and that would be a much faster learning process. So there were already some small gains in this first phase. And I promise, through my experience of having been shy before, breaking outside of that bubble really opened me up to new friendships and joining things like the tennis team that was super, super fun. So how you can do that is just start taking small steps in the direction of, like, if you're afraid to say something, just say it. I promise you it's not going to be that big of a deal. Chapter 2, breaking out of the box. All right, so high school, I didn't do anything cool except spring of my senior year, I discovered K-pop. Korean culture truly was not nearly to the level that it is now, like accepted globally and even loved globally. Speaking of discovering new cultures or learning new languages, or maybe you have Spanish or French class and you just want to do better in it, I'm going to share with you a really cool resource, HiLocal, which is also the sponsor of this video, so thank you to them. And I'd appreciate it so much if you listen to how cool this app is, because cool companies like them are really trying to improve the world, and they're also making it possible for me to continue making helpful videos for you guys. The best and fastest way to learn a new language is to listen or talk to others in that language. An easy and fun way to do that is by using HiLocal, which is a language learning app. It's a really awesome way to improve your fluency even if you're shy, because you can have fun group calls with people learning the language with you or native speakers in Korean, Spanish, Chinese, Japanese, and so many more languages. If you're not confident enough, you can just listen to the conversation. You literally can just pull up your phone and join the chat room anywhere you are, anytime, and at whatever level you're at. And if you like K-pop and K-dramas like me, it's the perfect way to be able to listen to your favorite songs and understand what they mean, or watch K-dramas without the subtitles. Like, can you imagine? Plus, if you're already fluent in some language, you can actually teach in the chat rooms and earn beans, which you can cash out. So it's a win-win because you can also flex your teaching skills. Check out HiLocal in the description below. There was a lot of stigma actually at my school. My school was primarily white. I had a friend who was obsessed with K-pop, and another friend and I actually made fun of him for it. So one day we decided to watch a BTS video and we ended up loving it. That's one little lesson. You should not reject things just because they're different. Like, you don't know what it actually is. It could be very cool and you would be missing out. Anyway, then because my sister and I love singing, we wanted to sing these K-pop songs, specifically BTS. I had the idea that we should make English karaoke versions of their songs. So basically rewrite the Korean lyrics into English ones that were singable, rhymed, and made sense with the melody. I wanted to put these on YouTube and then add accompanying covers of us singing the lyrics, so then other international fans could also sing their songs. However, as expected, when I nervously brought up the idea to my parents, they were very against it because we're putting our faces on the internet. YouTube, doing any kind of social media is unheard of. Like, why the heck would you do that? That's just not something our kids do. And maybe you know how Asian parents might talk sometimes, but they make you feel guilty for even considering something so out of the ordinary. To say the least, the persuasion was very uncomfortable, but eventually we were successful. But the discomfort had only just begun. I didn't know anything about making a video, nor how to record our audio and make it sound good, mix things and do all the timing, and I won't get into the technicals, but it was so complicated. I learned to get comfortable with ambiguity. It was a ton of Googling, a ton of watching YouTube tutorials to try making myself an expert in this completely new field. This was a completely new experience for me because in school, things are mapped out for us, like do steps 1, then 2, 3, and that's why it's comfortable to follow those steps, but that's not how it works in the real world. And doing something truly cool doesn't work like that either. No one's gonna give you a blueprint. But going more freestyle also means you'll likely fail and make a lot more mistakes than if you were following set 1, 2, 3 steps. There were so many attempts where one just failed after the other, and I wanted to give up. It was the summer before Caltech started. Why not just use one of my few free summers to chill and go hang out with friends, go watch a show, go, do something that I already knew how to do. Like, school's a time for learning. Why was I learning so much during the summer? There were so many awkward videos and footage that were not very fun to watch through. And I ran into another problem. I had to, ask my parents to buy us a $150 mic. As context for why this is such a big deal, as an immigrant kid, my parents are pretty resistant to buy anything that isn't so essential, to the point where to exchange gifts for the holidays, I would ask my friends to buy me things that I was too afraid to ask my parents to buy me, like mascara. Finally, we got a video done and we pressed publish for the world to see our lyrics, our faces, our voices, all of that, which felt extremely cringe. I would never thought in a million years that I would post a YouTube video intending for more than my family to watch it. But that first video kicked off something amazing. The second, third, felt easier. I forgot to mention how much work we put in even when we were rocking only like 20 views per video, and that's really just navigating the unknown of not seeing something pay off, right? Because in school, if you study more, you typically get a higher score and you see those results right away. But like on the bright side, it was something we enjoyed doing. Sometimes it was really hard. My sister and I also struggled to stay positive all the time when things weren't going so well and not as many people watched our things as we expected. But later we realized we were running a YouTube channel that eventually got to the 40,000 subscribers that we have today. People from all over the world coming together just to sing and to appreciate songs in a language that might not even be yours. Even though it became successful, right now my sister and I sometimes go back and look at our videos, and honestly, we look pretty bad and we sound pretty bad sometimes. And in the earlier videos, you can tell how uncomfortable we were. Like, we were so awkward. But that discomfort through the process, all the pain with our parents of just getting that first video to go online, I gained so much. Seeking discomfort gives you 3 things. It increases your comfort zone, it gives you more opportunities, and it helps you discover who you are. I embraced my passion for music unapologetically, and that led me to be more comfortable embracing other passions like starting this YouTube channel. I showed to myself I can make a dream a reality. Literally an idea come to life, and come to life to millions of people. Stepping outside the box of what already exists and making something completely new exploded my comfort bubble. I became confident in navigating something I've never done before and just figure it out. That's a skill that served me well at Caltech and then in my jobs. Opportunities, I gained a global audience with many people who make us feel happy that we're doing something meaningful. And I made friends I've never met before from the Philippines, Australia, the UK, and we sang together and created amazing things. I discovered who I am, someone who loves creating and being entrepreneurial. I never considered the word entrepreneurship to be part of my vocabulary since from a young age. I just thought that was something only the bold and only the risky do. How are you going to live your best life if not as who you truly are? Overall, our channel A Sharp was a huge leap toward my best life. I created a hobby for myself that kept giving back to me. I never even thought about scrolling my phone or watching TV when I could just be making another video. Because it was uncomfortable and I was learning new things, meaning I could always improve, it was exciting. It's comfortable just going on social media, but does that really make you excited and have a rush for living life? You probably don't even feel content when you do some things like that. And sure, you can play video games or crawl into bed to watch vlogs about other people's lives, seeking that comfort. But do you feel like that time spent is contributing to you using your one life in the best way? You don't have to put yourself on YouTube, but try something new. New experiences are inherently uncomfortable because you're not familiar with them. Challenge yourself with a new skill. Push yourself to talk to someone who's scary. That's literally why I'm engaged right now. I talked to my now fiance when I was super uncomfortable doing so. Chapter 3. the ultimate test. I took this new confidence, this expanded comfort zone to college, where then I was able to make some of the best friendships I've ever had and have some of the best experiences I've ever had. One of my best friends told me about this scholarship where she got to study abroad in Germany. I was so busy with my chemical engineering schoolwork and I was on the basketball team, so to say the least, I surely wouldn't call that comfortable already. But hey, I decided to push myself again and apply for this scholarship, which took lots of extra time putting together this budget, and as part of the process I had to get interviewed in front of a board of like 4 alumni and then the head of the study abroad program, something where I was super nervous about because I was like, all these important people are just listening to me, so I better not screw this up. In that interview, I talked about why I wanted to go to Korea. I described our YouTube channel, A Sharp, and how we were spreading meaning through music, and how I wanted to understand the language and culture more by having a first-hand experience. Because of the kind of impact and the passion that I showed through something I had already done, that board felt thoroughly convinced that picking me to send to the country of my choice was a decision that they were super happy and even proud to make. So you can already see how these things just add up to be a chain reaction, and one thing leads to another. So I got the scholarship, which I was so excited about. I wanted to live out my K-drama dreams and meet Jin from BTS. But what's crazy is that before in high school, I wouldn't even want to walk into the cafeteria by myself, let alone travel one person all the way across to the other side of the globe where I didn't know a single person there. I was staying in a Korean grandma's home and she didn't know English very well. So how crazy and new and uncomfortable would that experience be? But that's why that was the ultimate test, to see how far I'd truly come and how much more I could push myself. I did it and it was a blast. I did the touristy attractions, I ate in restaurants sitting by myself, I even filmed myself describing how delicious the food was like a crazy person alone in the corner of the restaurant. And even when my Korean was the skill level of a 2-year-old's, I confidently said "여기요" to the waiter and asked "또 뭘?" I just felt so comfortable doing anything I wanted, just living my best life, that I didn't even realize I was no longer not comfortable. Like, I did not have that fear anymore of navigating a new city in a language I didn't know across the world. It was so fun, and I made friends from Estonia, London, Southeast Asian countries, and I grew so much as a person, learning that if I can travel and have this much fun by myself, I am self-sufficient. I can be the one to save myself and just be content with my life, who I am. These experiences taught me you have to get uncomfortable. It's literally the act of getting exposed to the unknown. How are you gonna know what's out there and what's even possible to experience if you don't open the curtain to see it, to taste it, to see if you like it? Remember how amazing and vibrant the world is. All the experiences available to you. You have one life, so you need to grasp those wonderful memories because they're possible. Don't let your life slip away in fear of discomfort. New things are uncomfortable, but that's what makes them fun. You can apply seeking discomfort in many situations. Learning a new skill is uncomfortable, but can lead you to accomplish that amazing thing instead of watching someone else do it. Like that TikTok trend, you're the main character. Truly be the main character by trying new things. The main character is not going to sit there comfortably watching TV all day because that's boring and you would never watch that movie. So be the main character instead of watching from the sidelines. You're not an extra in the movie set. There are no redos in this movie. You can't just go audition for another movie because that movie is your life. You don't get another chance at life. Learning a new language can lead you to new opportunities and connections. So remember to check out Hi Local in the description. I've tried the chat rooms. I promise it's really fun. Even though I use my Korea trip as the example, living your best life isn't just one moment. The habit of getting uncomfortable continually put me in moments where I felt on top of the world. It may seem like those are insignificant, small moments of your life. A single trip, a single accomplishment, etc. But the choices you make and the choices I made in the direction of seeking new experiences, of trying new things, and getting uncomfortable put my life on a completely different trajectory to end up where I am right now. And I do indeed consider my current life my best life. So I hope you find that yourself and constantly be loving life. You only have one after all.